Heraclitus, a Greek philosopher, once said that the only constant in life is change. And with everything happening in the world today, that quote has never been more relevant. Our global landscape is shifting, the job market is evolving, technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace, and all of us here today are changing as we prepare to embark on the next chapter of our lives. I've been preparing for this change since middle school, and as I look back on my experiences, a few moments stand out. Moments where resilience and adaptability carried me and others through life's challenges. See, my earliest memories are rooted in change. My parents divorced when I was a baby, and that significant life event has shaped my entire life. As a result, I've committed to building a stable foundation so my future child will never have to experience what I did, those exhausting 7-hour round-trip drives that eventually became solo 12-hour bus journeys just to see my father. Yet, I wouldn't change a thing because those experiences instilled in me the ability to adapt. Whether it was getting used to those long drives, or constantly packing up my life, or living in two vastly different worlds, one with my white, rural, conservative side of the family, and the other with my urban, liberal, black side of the family, I had to grow up fast. And I adapted by learning to take the best from both, and more importantly, to sift through the worst. Eventually, I ended up living with my mother in Winooski, Vermont, the most diverse city in the state. I grew up surrounded by friends from nearly every continent, hearing dozens of languages spoken daily, and I absolutely loved it. We all learned to adapt and love one another, and in fact, I fell madly in love last summer, and I married my middle school sweetheart who was born in Thailand as a refugee. And I imagine many of you have your own story of adaptation, moments where life demanded more and you found a way to rise to it. Then, when it was time for college, my ability to adapt was tested more than ever. I had to balance my personal life, run profitable businesses of mine, maintain excellent grades, and work to meet my financial goals. So, I adapted. I started waking up at 5 a.m., moved into an off-campus apartment so I could cook my own meals, walk to the gym, and live more affordably. And let me tell you, juggling 40 hours of work per week on top of being a full-time student wasn't easy, especially in my first year. I went from a high school with incredible diversity to a private college just minutes away where I initially felt like I couldn't relate to most of my peers, or so I thought. That changed when I met other student entrepreneurs who, like me, had to adapt to balance their businesses, coursework, and jobs. I had conversations with veterans adjusting from military service to student life. And I learned from everyone here that no matter our backgrounds, we have all had to adapt. And that adaptability is something we should never, ever lose. As technology evolves, AI integrates into every corner of our lives, and the world shifts on both local and global scales, we will all have to continue adapting. And thanks to Champlain's hands-on experience and wildly pragmatic education, I can confidently say that every single person graduating today is a leader. As the world changes, it will be up to us to tackle ethical dilemmas, make tough decisions, and ensure that we bring our communities along with us, crossing the finish line together. We have grown up in a time of extreme and rapidly increasing polarization, to the point where many Americans can't sit in a room together and have a civil conversation, let alone be open to one another's ideas, perspectives, and personalities. And yet, I've sat in classes here at Champlain where we've had those difficult conversations, where we've disagreed, and where we've challenged each other. And as leaders, we listened, we checked our biases, we held each other accountable, and we used facts, data, and personal experiences to build understanding. And that is what the world needs to adapt. Now, for many of us, including myself, what happens next in life is unknown. And it's scary, whether you have a job lined up or not. But just remember, there is no single right way to navigate this journey called life. And at the end of the day, we're all humans living life for the first time. You have worked unimaginably hard to get to this moment. You owe it to yourselves to show up every day and do what brings you joy. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and take care of your communities. And always, always be ready to adapt, because it's going to be a wild ride. Congratulations to the class of 2025. Thank you.